So Luka Doncic has been absolutely terrible for the Lakers. I mean that. He's been shockingly bad. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Luka Doncic has stunk for the Lakers. And I know a lot of people are going to be not going to be like an I told you so. Nico Harris is probably doing a victory lap. But let's calm it down. Let's calm it down with Luka. Because what is the situation? What's happening with Luka Doncic right now? He's just figuring things out. He's never not played in Dallas. He has never had a situation like this before in his career. He hasn't. Like, you don't know with Luka. He's actually just not ever. He's never had to like really learn somewhere new on the fly. Like, he played with Real Madrid, where it's like his role increase was incremental. Like, he went from 15-year-old practicing with the team to 16-year-old end of the bench to 17-year-old 15-minute per game player to 18-year-old 20-minute per game bench player, and then Sergio Llull gets injured and suddenly he's a starter, and then goes, and suddenly by the end of that season his role picks up and up and he wins MVP. Then he goes to Dallas, and then it's like a little bit of a learning curve to start his rookie year. Like, he had a bad first 5 games of his rookie year, getting used to it, and then once he figured it out, he was one of the best rookies we've seen in the last 30 years. So that's the thing with Luka Doncic is he's going to figure it out. Like, he's not that out of shape. Like, he started off the game throwing 5 turnovers. He had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Like, it just wasn't a good game, and that's fine. Like, he's allowed to have bad games. People are like, oh, he's had 3 bad games. He's been on a minutes restriction for 2 of them. It's like per 36 numbers, those first 2 games were like 23. I think it was like 23, 7, and 7 on not great shooting. So you're like, okay, at least it's something. At least it's something. Like, it's not great, but it's okay. Whereas last night was his first real bad game. But the Lakers go again tonight. And that's the good thing about basketball, is that you can go through a slump of a few games and it's not going to make a difference. And for anyone thinking that Luka Doncic is not going to figure it out, are crazy. The only thing is like, the Lakers are now, like, if the Lakers had just gone and won either of those last 2 games against the Jazz and the Hornets, which should have been gimmies, they go into the 4th seed in the conference, which is, again, a good spot to be. Like, I think if Luka can just get firing, the Lakers, we are going to probably see. The Thunder are going to be top of the conference, but I think the Lakers and the Nuggets might be fighting now for number 2. And maybe if you are Denver or you're LA, you're like trying to get in to the 4-5, because maybe you think, you know what, like, if you're Lakers, we don't want to face that Jokic fella again, and we think we can beat OKC. But like, Luka has not just suddenly forgot how to play basketball. It was his first game back. Like, it was his first game properly back since Christmas. And like, JJ Redick is like, he's excited that he's a new problem to solve with the Lakers offense with their new personnel. Like, I do think JJ Redick will figure it out. Genuinely, I think he will, because this is Luka Doncic. This is one of the 3 best players in the world. And he didn't just forget how to play basketball. He was playing at an MVP level this season when he came back from the wrist injury. I was about to say wrist injury, but it was actually a wrist injury. The Dallas Mavericks just made up that they gave him time off so that he can work on his conditioning. He was injured. Like, if the Dallas Mavericks faked an injury and gave him a bunch and said he gave a bunch of time off for conditioning, like, that's just not on. It's just not a thing. And now you got Luka Doncic in his defense. Like, it'll take him 1 game, but you can just see how upset he is. He's like, I'm happy to represent the Lakers. Obviously, I'm going to need some time. Like, you can see it with him that he's just, it hasn't fully hit him yet. And I think we also forget sometimes that these players are human, especially if you are Luka Doncic, because, well, yeah, he didn't choose to go to Dallas. He was happy to go to Dallas. Dirk was there to mentor him, and then Dallas became his home. He chose to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid didn't just pluck him out of Slovenia. He chose to go to Real Madrid. he chose to stay with the Dallas Mavericks, and he thought that he was never going to leave Dallas. So obviously it's going to shake somebody up. And everyone's going to deal with that type of thing differently. But I think it's just going to take one game, and it might not be tonight. It'll take one game of Luka being Luka again for it to just click. And I still would put the Lakers as the third favorite in the Western Conference. And that's not like saying much. Like, I don't think the Timberwolves are up to much. I don't think the Grizzlies are up to much. The Rockets, I could see. I actually have a weird feeling Rockets might end up in the play-in. But when it comes to Luka Doncic, he'll figure it out. This is Luka Doncic we're talking about. This is not just some scrub. This is not just some random player. This is Luka freaking Doncic. And like, he's going to clearly be one of the best players in the world for the next half a decade. Half a decade. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you guys think that Luka's done? Do you guys think he's cooked? Are you judging based off like 3 or 4 games like a lot of people are? Or do you guys think that Luka Doncic is somebody who can pick it up again? He's someone who can go and help the Lakers to win a title. And I'm not sure if the Lakers win a title with this current roster, but I do think when LeBron leaves, when you've got that max money cap space freed, because you don't have to give Luka the supermax, you can then maybe sign someone in 2026, 2027. If Giannis wants to be a Laker, maybe bring Giannis with Luka. Because I do think that Luka, like, they do need a little bit more like a roster suited towards Luka than the roster they currently have right now. But I still think the Lakers are a damn good team. And like, I think the Lakers have assets. Like, if things don't work out with Austin Reeves and Luka in a backcourt together, screw it. You can get some assets for Austin Reeves. So I think the Lakers' future is pretty good. But we'll see after this year. And again, it's going to take time. Like, we can't forget, the Dallas Mavericks were the 4th seed when they made the Kyrie trade. And by the end of that season, after the Kyrie trade, they were the 11th, or was the 12th seed? They were either the 11th or the 12th seed, which is kind of crazy. And the next year, they go and make the NBA Finals. So you just never know with any of these combinations when they're going to work. The problem with it all is that LeBron's 40. If LeBron wasn't 40, you would be like, okay, maybe there's next year and there's another year. But I'm like, LeBron is 40. So there's only so much time they have to make it work. And if it doesn't work out, not the end of the world. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.